What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got some new gear I'm going to go over today, some baits that I picked up, new reel that I picked up, and a surprise I got from a company of some unreleased lures and some hard baits and some soft plastics I'm going to go over and show those guys to you as well, and see what you guys think. And we'll be doing some on the water stuff with those baits in the coming weeks and seeing how they perform and what I think about them, and I'll give feedback on that as well. They haven't really dabbled in the soft plastic realm. They've got some hard baits out, and I fished a few of them and liked them pretty well, but these are a few different sizes of the hard baits and these plastics, so we're going to get into this and show you guys what we got. We're going to start with this box I got from Tackle Warehouse. So I needed some bluegill swim baits, so I got these Savage Gear guys. These little pulse tails. And I got 3 different versions. Well, 2 different versions and 3 different colors. So we've got this one, which is just a ghost gill color, and these things look really good, but they've got the wedge tail, so you get that constant action. It's not that big wide wobble like the paddle tails, so it's a little more subtle. But throwing these things around those bed fish, bringing it through those beds and stuff, I think is going to be killer this spring when these fish start spawning. What this is this has a kill weighted belly hook in it, and I've got some of the hooks as well. I'll drag those out and show you what those are. We'll just open everything up today. Go over it all. So you've got these huge kill weighted belly hooks, and it's got the spring lock on it, so that thing just goes, screws spring lock in, hook goes in, comes right out the fin here. So you've got that head. It's going to be pretty weedless. That's not going to catch much, but again, when that fish hits, that's going to collapse down. That hook will swing all the way up in that swim bait, and be able to set that hook right in the roof of that fish's mouth and drive it home. It's going to be one of those where when that fish does hit, though, it's going to be one of those home run hook sets where you really draw down and crank it to get that hook in, because that's a big beefy hook. And the other one that I got is it's just a pumpkin seed. It's kind of the same. It's the same setup with the spring lock hook and the separate hook, so you can replace the hooks if they wear out. But then the other one that I got it's a RTF version, which means ready to fish. And this thing it's just a regular bluegill color. That's the color of this one. So you've got just your normal hook. It's just a big hook, comes out the top here, out the fin. This one's not going to be as weedless, but it's got a little internal rattle in that thing, which you could add to these other ones as well. I've got some of the rattles that you can slide in them. As I know Z-Man makes that rattlesnake thing, but the color scheme on these is just, they're unbelievable. I mean, this looks like a real bluegill sitting here, so I'm really excited to get out and and throw these things and bring them through those beds and see how those fish react to those things, because I think it's gonna really be a big player for me when these fish get on bed. What else do we got in here? Picked up another ChatterBait Elite Evo, and this thing pairs up really well with these Hog Farmer spunk shads. But this is the Chartreuse Pearl, and this spot remover color on this ChatterBait has a little bit of, just like a hint of chartreuse in there, and you've got that white and that flake, so that thing goes really well, and the fish absolutely destroy these things. What do we got next up? Just got me some punching weights. Got some queen tackle, 1.5 ounce punching weights. Grabbed 2 of those, Tackle Warehouse. Had them on sale, so I figured I'd grab me a couple more. And then here's another one that I'm excited to get out and try. I love throwing single swim baits, but these things would be good on a bigger A rig as well. This is the X-Zone Swammer, and I've never fished these things, but they released some new sizes in them, and these things just look really good. It's got a fairly stiff body to it, and you can see the action in that tail. I mean, it just dances all around, so it's going to have that big wide wobble. Again, looking forward to being able to get out and do some underwater footage and see how these things perform. I'm going to put them up against, say, some Kitech swinging impacts or something similar. I mean, I won't do the easy shiners or anything like that, because I want to keep it kind of the same thing. So keep that ribbed swim bait style together, and that's the way I want to do those underwater videos. Is I may get a few more of these bluegill swim baits and see how different brands compare, or let you see what a paddle tail looks like versus a wedge tail underwater, stuff like that. So I think that could be a big help for a lot of people, seeing the difference in that action. It'll be a big help for me, seeing the difference in that action, and just be able to share that with you guys as a plus. So I look forward to getting out and getting the cameras underwater and getting on that. So hang out and expect to see that before long. And then next up is something I'm really, really excited to get out and try. So I love throwing poppers, but when I like throwing poppers is typically around pads or around some kind of grass, and usually that stuff is up on top of the water. You throw a popper, you got those 2 treble hooks hanging down, it's hanging up. You're constantly fighting that grass, fighting those pads, getting hung up. If you do get that bite, you got a chance of getting hung up on those pad stems and stuff. So it becomes a headache. And Snag Proof has dropped these weedless poppers, and they actually have a walking bait as well, and I'm gonna pick one of those up next as soon as I see it. I was just trying to not go overboard, but what this is it's essentially a hollow body frog. So I mean, you've got that hollow body just like one of your hollow body frogs, but this thing is really soft. It's softer than any of the frogs that I've messed with, but you've still got that little feather that hangs down there like your normal popper, but you've got that double hook, so when that fish bites, you can drive that thing home. But I would say this is going to be just like fishing a frog. Once it hits, you let him take that thing and then set that hook good. It's not going to be like fishing a normal popper, where as soon as they hit, you can just jerk that hook and be done with it. But it's also going to have to be a little different rod setup, because I like to use something with a little more give to it, bends a little more all the way down when I'm using the treble hooks and stuff. So this, I'll go with something a little stouter so I can drive those hooks home when those fish hit. Next up, we're gonna go over this new reel I got. So I ran into a thing on Amazon where I found out I can order from Amazon Japan with my Amazon Prime and get stuff from there. I've got a couple lures from there already. Some Megabass stuff, the Jackal Dare Breaks. I got a couple of those from over there, and it ships fairly quick. I mean, of course it's not your 2-day shipping, but you're still getting free shipping with using Amazon Japan, and you do it through your normal Amazon. So if you've got Prime, it's still free shipping. But those baits, it may tell me it's going to take a month for them to get here, but I mean usually within 2 weeks they're here. But what we got is, I got on there and I needed one more reel. I've got a rod over here I've got to put a reel on, and they had these new 2024 Daiwa Tatulas. These are the hyperdrive versions. It's the new ones that they just updated them. I love these Daiwa Tatulas. I've got, I think, 7 of them now, counting this one. But they updated these things this year, and they've got this hyperdrive system. So I think some of the worm gears and some of the internals are a little different. It's got a different spool in it. But this one is the 100H, and it's a 7:1-to-1 gear ratio. So I'm going to get this and pair it up with this medium heavy rod that I've got, and get out and get some line on this thing. I've got some line coming, some Seaguar that I'm wanting to try out, so I'm going to put that on here, and we're going to give that a go and try that Seaguar out. I've been using Sunline quite a bit, but I got a thing where I won some Seaguar, and that stuff's supposed to be coming to me, so I'm going to give that a shot and see what I think. I've used it in the past, didn't have any issues with it, but I've just done really good with this Sunline. It's held up really well, so that's what I've been using. But like I said, I got a free spool coming to me, so I'm going to give that a shot and see what I think about it. All right, and lastly, we're going to get into these baits that were sent to me to try out. It's like I said, it's some new stuff that hasn't hit the market yet. Should be hitting the market this week or next. And I have tried some of the plastics out. I hadn't tried these hard baits out yet. So looking forward to getting out and trying these things out. But what it is Mach baits. So loos, reels, rods, they own Mach. I'm sure you've seen the loos Mach Crush and Mach Crush 2, the Mach Jacked, all those different versions of rods and reels they have. If you haven't, you should check them out. There's really good reels, really good setup. So decent price for combos. But they sent me these, and what it is, they got the Patroller, and this thing it's a plopper style bait. You've got your tail in the back, and they already had this bait, but this is just a new size. They've upsized them. I think they had the 90 and now they got the 110. So I really like throwing the plopper style baits, so I'm gonna get out and give that thing a go and see what I think about it and see how it performs compared to, say, a Whopper Plopper or a Berkeley Chopo, because I really do love those Berkeley Chopos. I prefer to throw those over the Whopper Ploppers. Just the fish I'm fishing for seem to like that action better, or that sound better. So I enjoy getting out and throwing those better than I do the actual river to seas. And then they sent me 2 of those. They're the exact same color, and the color this is Ghost Perch. So looking forward to getting out and giving those guys a shot and seeing what I think about them. And then next up, we've got the Mach Shad. So they already have one of these as well. It's a little bit bigger version, and this is just a downsized presentation. And again, I think this is going to be a good player on those bedfish. This is like a baby bass color. Ghost bass is what it's called. So you got, it's really translucent. You got the soft plastic tail on it, and just 3-piece multi-jointed bait. You got a lot of action there. They all do have good hardware on them. I mean, it's really sticky, stout hooks, so that's a plus, not to have to upgrade the hardware right out of the pack yet. I may feel different once I get out throwing it. I don't know. 6 cents is my go-to as far as loving the hardware that comes on them. So we'll see how these guys stack up to that and what I think about them. And then next up, we're going to hit these soft plastics that they gave me. It's a whole different. We'll just dump these things out here. So they sent me some stick baits, some craws, and some smaller, like soft jerk bait style swim baits. And none of these have colors on them. They don't even have the packaging together for these yet. They sent them in these little plastic bags. So we'll start out with these stick baits. And I'll get, I'm not sure what color this is, but I'm liking this. It's like almost a green pumpkinish, but it's got some crazy flakes, like rainbow flakes in it. I hadn't thrown this one yet, so I want to see how that looks in the water, and I think that one will be pretty good. These are really soft stick baits, so I think the action on them all is going to be pretty good. I've thrown the watermelon seed one, but just to see how the fall rate and stuff on it, and it was pretty good, but couldn't really see the bait where I was fishing, so I didn't get to see the action as well as I would like to tell you, oh, well, these are as good as a Cinco or anything like that. But this is like a watermelon seed color, and then I don't even have to take these other ones out there. It's a bright pink, so we got those. And again, I don't even know what they're going to call these, whether they're just going to call them stick baits, craws, whatever they're going to call them. But this craw bait that they have, this is like an Okeechobee craw color. So what most companies would do is an Okeechobee craw. It's blue on one side, green pumpkin on the other, but it's got a lot of flake in this blue side. And I hope that shows up on this camera. But these things look really good. I like that the claws have a split in the end of them. And then they have this little, I don't know if you can see how they get a little bigger here at the end. So they're gonna catch a lot of water and have a lot of movement. And of course they've got Mach printed on the claws. But that's one that I think will be good just as a Texas rig bait, but I think will also be a player on as a jig trailer. I think that'll be a really good jig trailer. And then the other one that they sent me in this was a black and blue, and instead of like a black and blue swirl like I've seen a lot of companies do, this is a black and blue flake. Don't know how well that flake shows up, but again, you've got the splits in the craws. It's the exact same thing, or in the claws, but you got all your little appendages down the side that you're going to get a little action off of. And I really do think these are going to be a good addition. And then these are my favorites that they sent. And I'm just going to go ahead and get one of each color out. I love the fact that they did them two-tone, and I'll explain why. So, it's a little fluke style swim bait, but it's ribbed from here back, and then you have a little forked tail, and you've got the open belly, place for your hook and all that good stuff. But this is a really cool color. It's like a real light green pumpkin on the back with a clear with a bunch of flake in it. And then you've got this one, which is like a blue, and the bottom is clear, but like with a hint of chartreuse in it. I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but it's got a lot of flake in it as well. Maybe you can see the way that tail, it's got those ribs in it, and then that little split. And then this one is no flake, but it's this gray and white, like a pearl. And again, same. They're pretty stretchy baits. I mean, they're not super soft, which I don't like all mine super soft. So I think the tail has the action, the body is where your hook's gonna go. So you don't want that to be so soft that it just tears apart every time you catch a fish on it. So I think that's gonna hold up really well. It's a really tough plastic. And then again, you have that tail that has all that action. But the color scheme, you've got these two tones. And the reason I really like that two-tone is because if you throw this thing out and you're doing like a strolling technique and you've got that thing on that jig head, let me rig one up. This isn't the exact right hook that I would use for this, but I'm just gonna do this and throw it out, show you what it would look like here. So you get this thing rigged up on here, and you're doing that strolling technique, and where you throw out and you're just bouncing that rod tip while you slowly roll that reel in. You don't get this crazy action out of this bait. What you get is this subtle side roll, left to right, just, and that's the only action you get when you're doing that strolling technique. It's just a little rock back and forth, a little shimmy, and that two-tone color really helps that stand out. As far as the light reflecting off of it, you can see those. If you've got one solid color, that especially on a rounded bait, you don't really notice it that well. And again, when I get set up, everything done, and we can do this underwater, I'll show you guys a little more what I'm talking about. But this is a flat-sided swim bait, so you've got that two-tone color on that flat side. It's really gonna stand out when that light hits, and you see that two-tone. So I think that's going to be a really good setup for those little swim baits there. But they should be releasing these this week or next, from what I understand. I know at least the hard baits they will. They told me I could post this after the 19th, and it's going to be the 23rd. So we're good to post this video showing these things. But once I get out and get to try them a little bit more, I'll fill you guys in and let you know what I think about it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hang out, keep checking back, and we're going to get that underwater stuff going on and get out on the water and actually get to catching some fish. Starting to warm up a little bit. The water should be starting to rise a little bit next month, but those fish should be moving back into these bays, into these creeks, hitting on these points and stuff. So I'll be able to get out and get on some. So I look forward to getting out and trying all this new stuff out. I've got so much stuff back here that I've not even opened up yet that I've not got to check out. Most of it I've used. It's just different colors and stuff like that. But I've got a lot of stuff that I want to get out and tinker with, and hope to go buy some more this weekend. And I'll keep you guys updated on what I get. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when something new comes out. Hopefully we can get some more of this unreleased stuff coming to us. I'm signed up with them, so they should be sending me some more prototype stuff, and take a little bit of input from us guys that they sent it to, and hopefully that'll help make a better product in the end. Taking the advice from the people that get out and use them every day is, in my opinion, the best way to do this. So I really appreciate these guys sending this stuff out to me, and excited to get out and try all this stuff out. But like I said, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me some comments, let me know what you think about any of this stuff. Really excited to get out and throw these things. I may have to go out tomorrow and just throw them and see what they look like. But anyways, had my squirrel moment. But I appreciate it. You guys check back in and let's see what we get going. Have a good one.